Hello students, welcome to this online course of Strength of Materials. So in the previous lecture we have seen about the various possible connections of a circular shaft. So we have seen the shaft can be in a series connection or it can be in a parallel condition connection. So in series the torque was same for both the shafts, and for the series for the parallel theta was same. So the shafts can be more than one, like it is not necessary that only two shafts will be there in connection. So three, four, any multiple type of multiple shafts can participate, and we have to decide depending upon whether the torque is same or the theta is same, the condition for the parallel and series connections. So let us try to understand why the shafts are being used. So the shafts are used to transmit the power. So we will see the connection between power and the torque. So power and torque. A shaft is subjected to torque when power is transmitted through various means to serve some useful purpose. So the main purpose of the shafts are to transmit the power from one component to the other component. So many of the attachments used for this purpose are fixed to the shaft by making cuts and holes in the shaft. So let us say this is one shaft, this is another component. So how we can fix them? So we can make a hole here and we can try to fit. Okay, like this we can connect the various components. So this makes the shaft weak. So when we are cutting the material or making a hole from the, we are reducing the material or we are reducing the area. So the uh, load carrying capacity of that particular component will get reduced. So let us see. So let us just assume that if a shaft is rotating at n revolutions per meter, the average torque being in Newton meter, it is we are taking as capital T. So how we can relate them? So this relation is very common. So power is average torque multiplied by the angle turned through in 1 seconds. So in 1 seconds, if we are moving with n rpm, so it will rotate by 2 pi n by 60. So t will be multiplied by 2 pi n by 60, and this is nothing but your omega. Omega is the angular velocity. Okay, so t, which is coming out to be 60 p by 2 pi n, gives the average torque. So you have to make this point very clear that the torque calculated here is average torque, but the maximum torque may be above this average value by 20 to 40%. Okay, so the shaft has to be designed for the maximum torque because this is the average torque. But what if the maximum torque is being applied, so it is more than that. So we have to keep in mind while designing that the torque should be designed for the maximum value of the torque. Okay, so the design torque is always more than the average torque for taking into account the weakness in the shaft by the cuts and holes drilled for attaching gears, pulleys, etc. So this is quite obvious. Now let us try to solve a problem based on the concept which we have learned just now. So we have to find the required diameter of a solid circular shaft if it has to transmit. So just try to note the points. Power is given as 300 kilowatt of power at 120 rpm. So n is also given. Given the maximum stress is limited to 50 newton mm square. So due to torsion, what type of stress will generate? Shear stress will generate. So maximum value of shear stress is given as 50 newton per mm square. The maximum torque is 30% more than the mean torque. So P is given to us. P was what? T into 2 pi n by 60. Okay, so P is given, n is given. So we can calculate T. So T max is what? 1.3 times of T average, and with this we can calculate what tau max is there. So that it will be in terms of d. So we can calculate the diameter. So let us see. So average torque we will be coming from 60 p by 2 pi n. it is coming out to be 223,870 Newton meter. Design torque is 30% more than the average torque, that is 1.3 times of T average. And if you will multiply here, no, this will be 1.3 into 23870. Okay, so everywhere this is 1.3 into 23870. Put all the values, you will get D as 146 mm. So this is a very small mistake. So in this way you can solve the problems based upon the power. So the formula to be used is T is equal to P into 2 pi n by 60. Now how we can analyze the combined stresses due to bending and torsion. So what if in a given shaft, let us say this is a cantilever beam, it is a circular in nature. Okay, so it can be applied by let us say this is load is there and this is T. So due to this load, what is going to happen? This is going to be something like this. So this will bend also. So this is bending moment and this is torsion moment. So if they are being applied simultaneously, what we are going to see? So let us see. So the condition of combined bending and torsion is frequently encountered in shafts transmitting the torque. So it is quite common. So we have to check for this condition also. So the shafts are subjected not only twisting but also to bending moment due to gravity or inertia load. So if no external load is there but due to gravity also it will bend. In such cases stresses are set up to due to bending, torque and shear force. So we have to check all the various possible loading. However, shear stress due to shear force is usually unimportant and as its maximum value occur at the neutral axis where bending stress is 0. So the combination we have to see the worst combination possible, but due to stress what is going to happen, the value of stress is 0 where the bending moment so the value of shear stress is maximum where the bending is 0. So it is not a severe combination possible. So you have to calculate for the bending on and maximum bending and maximum torsional moment only. Sorry, shear stress due to bending and stress due to shear. So we know bending moment will generate a normal stress, and the torsion will generate a shear stress. So let sigma b is the maximum bending stress and tau is the maximum shear stress due to twisting. So for solid shaft, we are having a sigma b will be equal to 32 m by pi d cube and tau will be 16 t upon pi d cube. So this we can easily calculate also. This is nothing but sigma b is coming out by m by I into y max. So I will be pi by 64 into pi by 64 d raised to power 4, y will be d by 2. So you will get this value. So for vertical loading on a shaft, the maximum values of bending stress occur at the ends of vertical diameter, whereas maximum value of shear stress occur at the outer surface. So these things we have already discussed. Now we want to calculate the combined effect. Okay, so maximum principal stress, we are having a bending stress and a shear stress, normal stress and shear stress. So this maximum principal stress, we are having a formula of half sigma x plus sigma y by half sigma x plus sigma y. So only one stress is there, so sigma b will come plus half root square sigma y minus sigma x by 2 square plus tau square. So we have taken 2 outside the square root, so it will become 4 tau square. Put all the values here, we are getting 16 m by pi d cube. No, this is not that. This is 16 into pi d cube m plus root over m square plus t square. So this is maximum. For minimum it will be minus here, so plus minus m square t square. So it can be noted. So this value is what? This is the equivalent bending moment, okay, which would give the same maximum bending stress. So if we are removing, so m and t were before they were applied. So if this is replaced by m plus root square m square plus t square value, so it will give the same bending stress. This is very simple. Okay, similarly for maximum shear stress, how we can calculate? This is for the maximum shear stress, so it is coming out to be 16, this is not m again, 16 by pi d cube into m square plus t square. So here it is t actually. Okay, so this is also t 60. So this will become the equivalent torsional moment or equivalent torque. So let us try to apply this concept. So the question is stating it is having an 800 mm long shaft with a diameter of 80 mm, carries a flywheel weighing 4 kilonewton at its midway. The shaft transmits 24 kilowatt at a speed of 240 rpm. Determine the principal stresses and maximum shear stress at the ends of a vertical and horizontal diameters in a plane near the flywheel. So it is very easy. Put all the values. Length is given as 800 mm, power is 24 kilowatt, diameter 80 mm, n is 240 rpm, and weight is the load is 4 kilonewton. So first we are calculating the torque. So the bending moment will be WL by 4. Here it is W at the midpoint, so maximum will be WL by 4. So it is coming out to be 800 into 10 to the power 3 Newton mm. Everything we are calculating in terms of Newton and mm. So torque is average torque 60p by 2 pi n, this value. So at the ends of vertical diameter, so the normal stress, put the values, all the values of m and t, only m, t and d all are given, we have calculated just now. So these are coming out to be 20.35 and minus 4.43. So this is compressive, this is tensile. Okay, we have to just write. So on the tension side of the shaft, the principal stresses are 20.35. So this will be tensile and this will be compressive. And on the compression side, this will become compressive and this will become tensile. Okay, and maximum shear stress, put the values in this formula. We are getting as 12.39 Newton per mm square, and the at the horizontal diameter the bending stress will be 0 because at horizontal this is Na, so at horizontal diameters y will be 0, so m by I into y, so this y is 0, so bending stress will be 0, and torsional shear stress will be 16 m by pi d cube. It is coming out to be how much? 9.5 megapascal or Newton per mm square. So in this way we have completed our torsion chapter. So from the next lecture we will start our new topic. So this is all for today. Thank you.